Welcome to The Explainer. You know, there's one topic that gets everyone excited, and that's the future. Today, we're going to unlock the language you need to talk all about it. So let's just jump right in with a huge question, one that pretty much everyone thinks about at some point or another. It's what drives our ambitions, our plans, our hopes. Let's dive in and figure out how to talk about it. You know, it doesn't matter if you're thinking about next week or, I don't know, the year 2060. The future is kind of like a journey, right? And today, we're going to learn how to map that journey out in English. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll figure out what we even mean by future dreams. Then we'll get into the language you need to talk about them, check out some cool examples, and then it's going to be your turn. Okay, first things first. When we talk about dreams for the future, what are we really talking about? It's a word we throw around all the time, so let's pin down what it actually means. Right, so we're not just talking about fantasy stuff. This is all about our real ambitions for ourselves and for the world. A dream could be something really specific, like I want to be an astronaut. Or it could be a bigger hope, for a better world. Basically, it's what we want to happen. So yeah, a dream could be about your own future job in some high-tech world, or it could be as big as wondering if we'll ever meet aliens. It really covers the whole range, from your own personal career to, humanity's next giant leap. Okay, let's get to the tools, because to talk about all these big dreams, you gotta have the right words. And the good news, it's actually way easier than you might think. The number one tool in your toolkit is going to be the simple future tense. Seriously, it's simple, it's powerful, and you will use it all the time. The way it works is just will plus a verb. I will go. She will become. They will build. See? Super easy, right? Now, this is where it gets really interesting. These phrases here, they're like power-ups for the word will. They let you add your own personal feeling to a prediction. Think about it. There's a big difference between just saying, it will rain, and saying, man, I hope it will rain. It adds your own point of view. All right, so we've got the tools. Now let's see how they work in the real world, when we're talking about one of the biggest dreams of all, our careers. This is where the future gets super personal. Okay, so this is Sinem. Listen to how she talks about her dream. She says, I will produce new, useful technologies. She's using will produce to state her goal with so much confidence. It turns her dream into a real plan. It sounds so direct and powerful, doesn't it? She's not just wishing, she's declaring her intention. And here's another great example. This is Pamela, who's 13. She says, I hope I will read this letter as a famous actress. This is just a brilliant way to show hope, right? She combines I hope with I will to talk about her huge ambition to be an actress. It's a prediction about herself, but it's full of her own personal desire. It's the perfect mix of the tools we just talked about. And look, it doesn't matter if your dream is to design incredible buildings or to help animals, like Patricia here, who wants to be a vet. You always start with those same powerful words. I will be. It's such a simple, universal way to declare your ambition to the world. Okay, so we've seen just how powerful will is for talking about our personal goals, right? Like becoming a software engineer or a famous actress. But that same little word can be used for something way bigger, our shared future. So let's zoom out a bit, from personal dreams to what we all think might happen. What's the world gonna look like in, say, 2080? So when we look at predictions, we get a mix of good news and, well, not so good news. But notice the one thing they all have in common. The word will is used for everything, whether it's a positive prediction or a negative one. It's just the neutral language we use for saying what we think is probably going to happen. And that brings up a really important point. We can imagine this awesome future with flying cars, sure, but we also have to use the same language to predict and plan for the big challenges like climate change. So, the language of the future, it isn't just for dreaming, it's for warning us and helping us get ready too. All right, you've seen the big ideas, you've got the tools, and you've seen them in action. So how about we see what you've learned? Just a few quick questions to make sure it all sticks. Question number 1. Think all the way back to the beginning. Remember, we're not talking about the kind of dreams you have when you're asleep. Yep, that's it. It's all about our hopes, our goals, what we think is going to happen. It's that active, forward-looking kind of dreaming. Okay, next one. We heard from a couple of students who had some pretty big plans. Can you remember what jobs they were dreaming about?
Exactly! We had Sinem, who wants to be a software engineer, and Pamela, who dreams of becoming an actress. And hey, vet and scientist are great answers too, all perfect examples.
All right, last question. This one is about the most important tool we talked about today. What's that key piece of language? You got it. It's the simple future tense, using that magic word will. That is the key to talking about all these ideas for the future. It's amazing how one little word can open up everything. So we'll leave you with this final thought. You now have the basic language to dream, to plan, and to predict. And this isn't just about grammar, right? These are the actual building blocks you can use to create a vision for yourself and for the world. So the real question is, what future will you create?